Well guys, we are down here. We made it to sunny Florida. I had to drive this car down here. Elderly family member came to live with my in-laws. This car will be happy down here. It won't get any more of that. No more salt from the Massachusetts roads. Yeah, so he flew down here. He is very sick, but he wanted his car. People keep asking me, friends of mine, what the hell's he want his car for if he'll probably never drive again, being as old as he is. Basically, because it's his. Anyways, moving on. Nice neighborhood, huh? This is where we're at. Bryson's gonna give me a ride around. Yeah, I'm gonna go check out the machines. This neighborhood, I tried to film this video once before this morning, but when I was walking the dog, but there's just too many people in here and there's too many dogs, and he's I mean, they got people coming in and out of the model homes, and a couple of them had their own dogs, so it's kind of hard to keep him in line and watch everybody because he don't like the other dogs. So Bryson and I are gonna do it again. It's a gated community. They got a lake over there, like a man-made lake. Community center, really nice one too. There's a full gym in there. We like the cappuccino machine. You got bocce courts, hot tub pool, heated pool, swing set for the kids, tennis courts. But I just want to show you something real quick. All right, now look at all of the houses all tight together that way, and then pull forward a little bit. You can see down here, same thing down here. I mean, you pretty much could put your back against one house and spit on the other house. I was down here last March. We were down here, and just on the other side of this bridge we're going over, because there's a little river that runs through here. This was all dirt. Gotta obey the speed limit here, or the stop signs, and all the same rules as the cars. But as you can see, there's a lot of dogs in here. Yeah. It's very nice. It's very well maintained. You know, they take the crews of guys a couple days in here to mow the lawn, and they use the edger, the string trim, a weed whacker, whatever you want to call it. Cut all the lines on the sidewalk nice. The only thing of it is I don't like how close the houses are. See, more dogs. My dog doesn't like other dogs, but you know, if you were elderly, you know, this would be a perfect neighborhood, because you want to live where there's a lot of people in case of an emergency or something. But being that I'm not elderly yet, I will not live in a neighborhood like this. So right here, this was all dirt. Let's go the long way. You want to go this way? Yeah. So you can see this house is getting pretty close. They're just putting the roof on, which is all like clay tile, kinda, I guess. I'm not really sure. They look like clay tiles to me, but you have gray ones too, so I don't know. Maybe they dye them, maybe they're made out of cement, who knows. But look at the room between the houses. And you don't get to mess with your landscape. It's already like pre-picked out. See, there's one there that somebody bought late. What happens is when a neighborhood's being developed, what they will do is you get to pick out your lot. So that one that's in amongst all those other ones must have been one that got bought late. So here's one. I was watching the guy yesterday with the skid steer, and he was subbing down for the driveway, piling that dirt over there. But this is the new construction area. We're gonna make a left up here. See that area there? That's all been developed up. Now, see they're making the sidewalk there right now. Dumpster. This one here, I don't know what they're doing over here. Blocks. Right? Is it this one? Nah. My in-laws want to move across the neighborhood because supposedly these houses that they're building here.
Nah, these are the duplexes. We're not even there. That's the one over that they want to go.
Oh, I'm confused.
Yeah, these ones are duplexes.
Are they? They are.
Yeah, they are.
That's weird. I didn't realize.
You're thinking of the one way over there. You see
oh yeah, yeah.
One directly to the left of the wooden roof is the one that we were looking at.
Yeah, my in-laws want to move over there.
But
Here,
they want the lot here.
They want this lot right here.
Yeah, these ones are the really nice ones. So these ones are wider. All the other lots are 50 feet wide. These are 65.
So they'll get more backyard. So they want, which lot? Is it this one?
It's this lot right here that they want, but it's the house over there next to the one with the open roof.
So last year we were here, this is what everything looked like, just dirt. This wasn't paved when we were here.
No, it's dirt.
This is all dirt. And we don't, the wild boars and the hogs.
Hogs, yeah, the hogs in
they were running
Bobcats.
They were running through here, but they haven't been running through here since they started encroaching more, because back there's a wildlife preserve. You could tell it's just assembly line the way they're building these houses, but just let me out, Chiefy. But I mean, see, there's one here that they're getting ready to form up, but the dirt here is just absolutely disgusting. We'll get to that in a minute, because I found out something about this dirt when I was here last year. But I mean, so all their plumbing and utilities they put in first, and then they will set up the form boards, and then they'll pour the slab after over everything. So that's this house. Now if you come over here, that must be irrigation. Yeah, it's going in the irrigation box. Not really supposed to be over here, but the hell with it. Now you see the vapor barrier down there. So here's one that's looks like it's ready to pour. They got all their footing boards, all their utilities in, vapor barrier down, rebar. I mean, when they pour it, they'll have to stand these up when they do their pour, but the dirt here is just disgusting. It's very weird looking dirt compared to where I live. And the dirt here is crazy hard. So that's that one. All the houses are blocks. A cinder block. You know, then they come back after, and I've seen guys, you always hear hammer drills over here. You know, they're always hammering off like imperfections and then grouting stuff with more cement. So if you drive through here during the week, this is Sunday, but if you drive through here during the week, all you hear is hammer drills going. But
it's just a cookie cutter neighborhood though, you know? It's like concrete.
That's that dirt here. It's like,
it's weird, it hardens.
It's all like the bottom of the sea dirt. We'll get to that in a minute, because it was explained to me.
Yeah.
I do like this tractor. I mean, I think I'd get a green one though.
John Deere?
Yeah. Just, I don't know.
Solid front tires.
Tractors, in my mind, you get a farm or a tractor, you think, you know, you think John Deere. It's not always the case, but I do like this dump trailer. I saw the guy using it the other day. Balloon tires. See a lot of these on golf courses. Back home, that's the only place you see these. But it's pretty cool. Nice tailgate. I wonder how that opens. I wonder how the tailgate opens. I'll bet you anything it's when you raise it up, it has comes a couple inches off. I'll bet you it comes a couple inches off of the frame and then triggers off the tailgate somehow. I bet there's a mechanism. Oh yeah, there it is. Once that lever down there goes down, once you raise the body up, it moves this rod and then opens the tailgate. That's pretty clever. All right, so last year, this is where the road stopped. All right, so you can see where they have been working in this area, and that dozer and that grader, that's a D5K2 LGP. My old boss has a 6 that I used to run. Awesome dozer. I love the way the cats look. I know everybody's hot on the Komatsus right now, but you got to give it to the cats. They look good, you know. Put a nice blue paint job on that sucker. Maybe one day. Anyways, this is all crushed rock. This is what they're using for their road base. I can't take you, but it's across the street that way. They are hauling a bunch of crushed rock over here and dumping it. The dozer's obviously knocking around with the GPS on the roof. They got the Trimble system on there, and then that grader's, you know, fine grading it all out. But here's where it looks like they ended. Now Bryson's gonna drive me down there, and I want to explain to you something that people from back in dirt way. I already been down here with the dog this morning. So you see this here that looks like it's a sidewalk? So, and I'm gonna explain this to Bryson too, because up in our neck of the woods in Massachusetts, we don't have this. When my in-laws lived in Arizona, they had this. This is not a sidewalk. This is a ditch for water. It's perfectly pitched. Hold on. So what it is if you can see, I'll come down here real quick. All right. See how that's got like a V shape? I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but it's got a V this way and a V that way. It's basically a concrete swale. I'm sure there's a technical name for it, but not being from here, I don't know the technical name. I just know what it does. A lot of the stuff I don't know technical names for, I just know what they do. What that does is that collects the water off of the road and the water off of the yard, and then it runs it down here halfway. I bet you can't see it on camera, but this slightly goes up, okay? Then in the middle, it'll slightly goes down to the other box like this. All right, and then you can see all of the intersections coming into here, and then probably goes out into the holding pond, or at home we call them retentionary ponds. They retain the water till it has a chance to drain down. All right, so my guess is that everything down there is running down here, coming out of that pipe, okay, and flowing across and out to there, to the retentionary pond. And we may have one, yep. So we got one coming from across the street too. And if you notice, the one from across the street is higher than the one from down the street, because the one from across the street, okay, has to be a little bit higher, so we don't get the flow back that way. But I bet you anything it's pitched also. So yeah, and I'll bet you the one from down the street's got more fall in it, so that's why it's deeper, because they had to go deeper so they could get it higher down there, if that makes any sense to anybody. But these look like sidewalks, but they're not. And then the other thing too is I want to show you this dirt. When I was here and the guy was reclaiming last year, he explained to me that the ground here is so hard and so packed with seashells, because this whole area thousands of years ago was underwater. All right, so I don't know if you can see all of the shells in the ground, seashells everywhere, but basically all this dirt is super hard and it's packed old decaying seashells, and they don't decay very well. So the guy last year when I was talking to him said this ground is like concrete. The Dozer doesn't grade it very well. See, there's like thousands of shells everywhere you look. You know, I thought it was cool when I was here last year. I was like, oh, look, a shell or two. And the next thing I know, a shell or two, when I noticed, turned into millions, and then it wasn't so special no more, you know. What the guy was telling me is you have to till the soil, where you're gonna make the road first. Because the Dozer struggles a little bit. I don't see this company that's doing this third or fourth phase. I don't see that they have that. They may have took it out of here already. But what they'll do is they'll till where the road is, and then the Dozer, it loosens it all up so the Dozer can come in and fine grade according to the GPS and everything without, you know, bang bang, you know, scraping and cutting and all that. And then what they'll do is after they'll get it to a final subgrade, roller compact it with the big roller, then they'll put their base rock over it, and then, you know, the road grader will come in. So that Dozer, the Dozer's working on the subgrade, the road grader is pushing out the final grade before pavement. See, that's a shell. But oh boy, this thing is, well, they've been greasing it, but I got to imagine that the hot sun down here in Florida just wears the grease right out. I mean, that thing is just, I don't know, that thing is worn. All right, so you can see the Dozer tracks. The Dozer's in here doing the subgrade. Most of these lots, they already have the sewer stubbed up right there, and then the plumber will grab those and take them into the house lot. Once the house lot gets sold, they're gonna do the utilities. Electrical stubbed up there, sewer stubbed up there. That's lot number 202. So whoever buys lot 202 after it's purchased and everything goes through paperwork, I assume, or whatever, and they know they're gonna get paid for building the house, then they'll have everybody come in. You see, they already dropped a pull box there for the electric that's upside down. But that's why the GPS on that Dozer is pretty important in here for what they're doing, because this is all gotta pitch correctly. See, here's a good one. Here's a good one. Shell. This is what I was telling you about. They're everywhere here. I mean, look at millions of them. You know what this is?
Looks like a roll-off dumpster.
No, look inside. You know how at home we bail out of the back of the truck with when we need stone?
Yeah.
On large job sites like this, they'll load this full of stone. They'll take a big excavator, grab it up here, and drag it around the site as they need it.
Oh, no shit.
So instead of digging off the ground, you bail out of the back of here. So you always have your...
You said stone box. I'm looking at that. That looks like a stone box. This just looked like a roll-off dumpster.
Negative. That is a concrete structure.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
This is a stone box.
Nice.
You want to know why they put hooks on it? D-rings? There and there. Because in the cities, they'll lift these up with cranes if they need to.
Good point, yeah.
Yeah, you can lift this up with a crane. But we don't use this at home because, well, as you can see, you have to drag it around on the ground.
Yeah.
So at home, what we use is a loaded dump truck, and we just bail out of the back of it. All right, I know everybody's really hot onto the Komatsu Dozers. I got some friends that have them. My old boss has one. He actually has both. He has a new Cat and he has a new Komatsu, and he likes the Komatsu better. But I just like the way the Cat looks. Like the front of it just like looks, you know, I like the nose better. I know that the one without the nose, the Komatsu with the small nose, is you know, better for visibility, but I don't look at the nose. I look down at the blade. But I just like the way the cats look. This one is got the GPS, the tremble on the roof, with the grade control. But if I had to get a Dozer right now and I had the money, you know, to spend on one, and I don't because I don't have a use for one where I live, I think I'd get a cat. Only because of looks, which is stupid, but I just like the way that they look. LGP, for those of you that don't know, that means low ground pressure. That means the tracks are wide. I don't know what the K2, I think that's just the series is. However, this would be a perfect Dozer for me. I think the 6 is too big. I spent quite a bit of time in the D6 K2 that my old boss had, but I think that's too big for anything I would ever need it for. And I spent some time in a D5 that didn't have the LGP tracks, and I actually didn't like it. There was a huge difference because I was using it in sand and it kept trying to cut in. But the road grader is pretty sweet. Yeah, so my thing of it is with the graders, I don't have a lot of time in them. I've only messed around with them a little bit. I have a lot of time with hauling them on the low bed. I've put a few graders on the low bed and moved them. We have one back at home, an older one that I used to move for a company all the time that had the big Dozer blade on the front. I hated moving that sucker. But grader is something I would definitely like to get into. I love when you watch like a Let's Dig video and Chris is putting the GoPro underneath and you can watch the blade. 279D, I ran a 279D plowing snow, which you ain't gonna do here. That's got to be the utility company's machine. You want to know why, Bryson?
Why?
You see the trailer hitch on the back?
What, the one that looks like it's welded on?
The trailer receiver hitch.
Yeah.
That's something you see a utility company do when they want to pull a trailer with like spools of wire and stuff. I know they're doing utilities through here because look at.
Oh yeah, look at that.
They've got all their conduit in.
Yeah, the stuff's nice.
This stuff's packed pretty good. But for those of you that don't know, because there are some people that don't know, this is a vibrator roller. It's not just a static roller. And the way I was always taught, because I learned how to roll behind an old timer and a Dozer when I was younger. The large construction company I worked at, all he did was Dozer work, and they would stick anybody on a roller, and he would get mad if you came to the end of a pass. If you didn't shut the vibe off before you got to the end, you basically got yelled at because you'll put a little wave in it. So like the paving guys all know that because you don't want to put a wave in the mix. But a Dozer or a grader guy will hate his roller guy if they come to a stop, complete stop, and change direction with the vibe on, because these big rollers will vibrate and dig a hole, a little divot. So I was always taught before you get to the end of your roll, you hit the off button. That's that button right there. Almost every roller, every brand. So this is forward and backwards. There really isn't much to a roller. Full throttle, forward and back, and then vibe on, vibe off. Did you know any of that?
No. I knew that they vibrate, but that's about it. I know they vibrate and roll.
All right, remember what I was saying about the drainage? This is not a sidewalk. It's almost like a V-ditch, but it's actually created out of concrete. Now, because this is under construction, they got filter fabric in it. This is what you always do when you're under construction, so you don't get like the dirt and sediment into the thing and clog up the system. Because as you can see, they got dirt and crap all over it, okay? But look at Can you see on camera? The V, being that it's V'd like that, is it matches this ditch. So the water from the last box, they split the difference halfway between the two, and this thing is actually pitched this way, and then it'll come down like this and then go into here. So that's a little bit about that. And a lot of times they have to set those after. They sit them on there for now, but a lot of times once you do your final, you know, they sit them on after with, they may have to raise them up a little bit of mortar. All of these lots are all done and ready to be sold. Everything, all the utilities put in, all that, stubbed up. Now you can see all of their piping, staging area. Some broken ones. See that one there? That's gonna have to get raised up. That one's too low.
I always like the way skid steers look when they're black. I don't know how I feel about high track though.
All skid steers are high track now. See this dozer?
All new ones? All new ones?
See this dozer?
This dozer? Yeah.
I ran one of those a lot, but it was a 5 that looks like a 4. These are great, you know. If I was gonna get one and there was a good deal on one of these, I would get one. I had a lot of fun in that, you know, in my 20s. Yeah, 544. I used to run a 624.
I say that about high track. Every skid steer is a high track. What the hell am I talking about?
Is the sun getting to you?
Yeah. Well, that one just looks so much higher than other ones. I don't know.
What's that? Maybe it's...
It just looks a lot higher than other ones. I know every skid steer's got a high track.
Well, that's a big one. That's a 299.
Yeah. That on the back looks like something out of a damn sci-fi movie.
They need to make the buckets a little taller in the back. Every single one, the dirt goes over. Look at, dried out. Just dries the pins right out. Yeah. Constantly greasing them.
Looks damn comfy though.
Caterpillar makes a comfortable machine, I will say that. That's an air ride seat. See the push button?
Yep.
Let's go check out that 315. Yeah, this is definitely a utility machine. Look at, they welded on the cutting edge.
My favorite thing about excavators is how much bigger they are when you're standing next to them. Even minis, you know?
Oh yeah.
They look so much smaller far away, and I love that about them, you know?
I know somebody that just bought a 315F and he loves it, but he got it with a thumb. I don't talk to him much, I just know him, but the utility company's definitely greasing, huh? These guys don't spare no grease. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dirty. I'd clean it because that's just me, but...
Oh, it keeps it from wearing out.
Well, you just like somebody that takes care of their equipment. It looks like they got, what do you call it? They got a laser system on here, too. I don't know if you can see in the sun.
What's your thoughts on these kinds of tracks where it's rubber pads over metal tracks?
I love them. I wish I had them. Yeah. Our machine originally came with them.
You think they're better this way? You think it's better than just standard metal?
I do. Because you can drive this on the road.
Oh, right.
Where
you're having to have pads.
Right. And the steel part's stronger than the rubber.
Yeah, it doesn't rip.
So it's like you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're
this has the what?
If you're turning on road with full rubber, it tears sometimes when they're worn down a bit.
Well, full rubber tracks, you know, you go through them more than you do the steel.
Yeah.
This has the tremble system.
Must be damn expensive, huh? Each individual plate. Let's say
pads?
you replace like one of them. Yeah. It's gotta be a lot more expensive than rubber tracks.
Well, on this you don't replace the steel pad, you replace the rubber pad. So, like, see the bolts underneath, Bryson?
Yep.
You would unbolt this rubber pad and put a new rubber pad inside here. So these are actually, see if we can see the light. You see how you unbolt it here?
Yeah.
You would unbolt the rubber pad from the steel pad.
Oh, right.
And your grousers on your regular steel pads don't wear out as much because, right. I mean, think of it. They've never had a chance to touch anything.
Now, can you put rubber pads on any steel tracks? Only ones that are specifically fit for them.
I'm not sure. I think the only ones that are specifically, you know, right. I'm sure you could, but you'd have to drill holes.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm saying these just kind of look like just standard ones with rubber over them.
So this thing's going to need sprockets soon because you see how they're pointing? that means this is getting obbed. So see how this is farther apart?
Yeah. You want them to be thicker, not pointy.
Well, you want, yeah, well, you want it to be kind of, the squarer it is at the tip here. I don't know if I can get this out of light. The squarer this is at the tip here, the newer the sprocket is. When they get to a very, very point like that, they're worn out.
You ever seen any get to the point where they're sharp?
Yes, very sharp.
Now, how bad is that?
It's bad because then they start skipping. The
All
ends,
right.
the ends tip off because the chain in here, nobody does it anymore, but a long time ago people used to push these out and roll them, or I forget what the term is for it when you rotate your pins.
Right.
No one does it anymore. You just replace it because usually by that time the rail is gone. So like you see, this is, come here.
Oh yeah, where?
You see how this is thin
Yeah.
and this is thick?
Right.
When you buy a machine, you want to look at the thickness of the rail.
Okay.
Why do they call this a rail? Because your idlers, right? Your idling rollers.
Yep.
Think of a train. A train rolls on the rail, right?
Right.
Railroad track. That's why they call this a rail.
All right, so your idle roller's here.
So this thing is going to need chains and sprockets soon.
Yeah.
The sprockets are pointy. The rail is getting thin. And that's because this is a utility machine. So a utility machine, when they're digging trenches, you dig the trench, you move. You dig the trench, you move. You dig the trench, you move. You dig the trench. This thing is always tracking. Right. So this could have lower hours than, like, let's say my friend who has one of these, and he sits on a job site digging a basement.
Right.
He doesn't track as much as this guy. So I don't know where the meter is, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Besides, it's lunchtime. Well, right. That's gonna be it for us, and that's what I'm up to. That's what we're doing down here in Florida, is hanging out,
Looking at machines.
Yep. Next stop, Wendell, North Carolina. Gonna go visit my friends up there.
Absolutely.
They own a repair shop up there, so we're gonna go check that out. Catch you on the next one. Yeah, the DEF fluid's really saving the planet. Nothing's coming out of the exhaust, it's clean, but we're throwing all the jugs everywhere.